Hey there, Hofstra fans. Welcome to this week's edition of the W. Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Mike Sullivan, joined by head coach of the Hofstra Pride women's basketball team, Krista Gilbert-Tavesky. Coach, how are you today?
Doing well, Mike. Doing well.
Coming off a week where you get a few victories in conference play. You're riding a nice little winning streak right here.
Yeah.
First against Georgia State Thursday, then George Mason on Sunday. Talk about the week that was for your team.
It was a good week. Anytime you can get some conference wins in there, no matter they're home or away, you certainly will take them. So it was good. I was just speaking with Jim here before the show. Every game's a tough game. And it's just the way our conference is.
Look, start first off against Georgia State. Second half, really a story of runs. Your team starts off with a big one to begin the half, and then Georgia State climbs back into it near the end. A 1-point victory for your team. What happened in that second half?
Well, we talked a lot about that. I mean, we have learned a lot from our non-conference schedule, and we let them go on a 9-0 run there at that 12-minute mark, from 15:42 to about the 12-minute mark, and that's really unacceptable. I mean, it's a game of runs, we know that, but it can't be the way that happened at that moment on our home floor with a team that has confidence. Georgia State had a non-conference schedule that they've done well in. I think Sharon's doing a good job with her squad. They're getting better, and so you give people another opportunity to sink in, and it made it difficult. By the time we got everything going, calmed down a little bit, and it was a ball game. So credit to Georgia State, and just not a good effort on our part. Letting folks back in the game.
Shante Evans ended that game 4 points away from the record. She gets it early against George Mason. What was the moment like after the game in the locker room, celebrating the moment?
It's so much like Shante. We talked about it to everybody, to the team, and she just doesn't like the heavy focus to be on her. I know she feels great. It's just feel like she knows she has a job that she needs to do this year, but we certainly took time and congratulated her, and she had a lot of pictures taken, and they gave us the game ball, and I talked to her father on the phone last night and just tell him how proud we are of her here, and just anything that we can do. I think New York Post is coming today, and they've been writing a lot of stories. They wrote a story in her local paper about her. Her father was telling me last night in Westchester. So deserving beyond any person I've ever coached, and it's just fun to see her accomplish this goal.
A couple big games for a couple of your guards. We'll start off with Georgia State. Annie Payton in that first half comes off the bench, 14 points. What benefit does it give you as a coach to have something like that?
Well, being a sixth man, I talked to her so much this year about the value of being the sixth man, and until we could kind of figure out how our lineup was going to be, she was in the starting lineup, but it was so much better for her coming off the bench, and she can provide such a great spark, and I was happy. Sometimes it could be 14 points, sometimes it could be guarding the best defender and guarding the best player, and she's embracing her role and getting better and better.
Sunday against Mason, Andriana Thomas, who's leading the conference in assists, scoring-wise, 18 points. What do you see from her play?
Well, her play has just been getting better and better pretty much since after the Auburn game, and she's learned a lot about her mistakes and what it means to be running this team, and the value of her position, and whether she's giving 18, whether she's a point shy of a triple-double, or she's 8 points and 10 assists. I mean, she is a competitor through and through. You wish people had all, and I said that to her even after the freshman game at Gonzaga. I was pretty hyped on her competitiveness. She had to get a lot of maturity and continue to grow, but she is just a true competitor, and just whatever it takes to win, that's all she cares about, and it's pretty awesome. She likes making assists, so that's a good thing.
Looking ahead to your schedule this week, Thursday at Drexel, Sunday home against Old Dominion, starting with the Dragons, led, of course, by Holly Mershon. What's the scouting report on her?
Well, it's funny. I'll talk about her in a second, but I'd asked Jess Minetti and the coaching staff. I'm like, and I'd seen Drexel play in St. Joe's in earlier films, and they lost one of their best players. What's so good about them right now? But they are a better team with Nikki Jones, with Taylor Wooten, with Flanagan, all the kids that are playing for them right now, and then you have Holly that kind of sums it up, and she's kind of leading the way, and she's stronger than she was last year. She's playing better than she played last year, and which, as a coach, you hope the kids are getting better and better every year. So, she really is a motor that makes them go, and she has deep range, and she finds other people. Not only it's just about her, but, she definitely goes as they go.
Head coach Denise Dillon has really instituted a tough, gritty defensive style to this Dragons team over the past few years. Offensively, how do you prepare for that?
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what we've been faced all year long, in non-conference too, whether someone's playing a zone or a matchup or pressing like Mason did the entire game the other day. And, the only good thing is we have faced everything that they can throw at us, and, we just have to continue to be prepared, and we really need to play our brand, our style. We need to rebound. They always do a good job of trying to keep us off the boards because that controls tempo, so that's going to be the last 2 games we haven't done as well, and that's something that we really need to bear down and do a better job on rebounding in.
Hofstra and Drexel, 2 of the last 3 remaining undefeated teams in the conference, so certainly going to be a tough battle.
Yeah.
Talk about the atmosphere on the road
Yeah.
at Drexel.
Well, we usually have something. I remember the year after San Diego, I think that was Shantae's, was that her sophomore or junior year? No, her sophomore year. We were going to battle. We both had the same record at that point, and then, then last year we played them home first and then at their place, and just had a really good battle at their place. They have a great fan support. A great student body support for the women's basketball. Which I see you guys. I see a few people trickling in. It's hard right now when we have intersession, but it would be nice if we had a student body base like that, because they've got 50, to 100 kids that are coming to support the women's basketball, sitting right across from our bench, heckling our players, and the band, and then the small, high school kind of gym setting that they have at Drexel is a perfect, place for them, for their home court advantage. So we're going to practice 2 practices there and get ourselves acclimated to them, so get our freshmen, acclimated to the gym.
Quickly looking at Old Dominion on Sunday, they played here at the MAC last season, got out to that big lead, and you came back, made it a 1-possession game. A lot of that was due to their point guard, Ashley Betts.
Yeah.
What challenges does she present?
Well, she was highly touted in recruiting. You knew she was going to be a stellar point guard for Old Dominion when they locked her down. So it's going to be fun to see a much better Andrea Thomas going against her. Jackie Cook, their whole band of team they're trying to run. They're trying to play a different style of basketball, and they press in the majority of the game. So, a different type of game than the way Drexel's going to be, but, very challenging to say the least. So 2 in a row like this is going to be a big week for us.
Finally, Coach, what's the key to victory?
I said a little bit earlier here about rebounding against Drexel, about us controlling the tempo. They're going to fight hard to control possessions. And, the fun thing about us this year, our blueprint for success is pretty cool. It's, we have really believe in playing defense. We have kids that actually talk about defense all the time now, kind of getting back to the ways of the Hofstra basketball and how we were established here. But yet we're pushing the tempo too. So the blend that I was trying to create the last couple of years, they really got that, and they really believe in that. So I think that's going to be fun. Is how we can be really nitty gritty on the defensive end, and we can play any style. Like, we want to control the tempo, we want to run, we want to go. But the fun part about us is we've been winning in many different ways. So whatever it takes for us to win this game, that's what we're going to do.
The Pride return to the court Thursday at Drexel, and then again home Sunday against Old Dominion. For head coach Krista Kilburn-Staveski, I'm Mike Sullivan. Thank you for tuning in to W. Mason.
And congratulations again, real quick, as I cut him off, to Shantae Evans and breaking this record. And she broke Dia LaBella's record and broke Kate Gordon on the rebounding. So I just want to end with that. It's very well me to cut you off, but very big day for Shantae and for Hofstra University.